Hi there. For those of you who haven't gotten the message yet, my name is Christopher, and when you look at my content, and some of these things inspire you to try some of the things that I'm doing, like going barefoot, stretching, slacklining. Just be aware that I have been doing these things for quite some time now. I started slacklining and walking barefoot in 2012, and I've been doing calisthenics for a couple of years already. Only after a while I decided to transition, because for me calisthenics was too much about like doing this, and I wanted to go more into full body strength and holding it, because that's what I've found in spirituality. Holding the strength, it's about holding the energy and not always on and off, on and off, on and off. It's about holding it. And that's why I moved from all this up, down, like also mentality-wise, to holding it. And so, for me it's a struggle as well. Like, I'm pushing myself so that I can get to the next stage, right? So you have to know what your stage is, but also know where you're coming from. If you've never stretched yourself, don't just do these things, because maybe you're in a depression, maybe you are, I don't know how old you are, maybe you aren't generally fit. So if you stretch without having the proper muscles to support all those nerves and stuff, you can seriously injure yourself. Like when I stretch like this, I don't just, right? I do it gently, but there's also a lot of, I've been doing a lot of workout. That means you have a lot of muscles. That means if you don't stretch them, all that strength is going to pull you together. And I've seen people bouldering, and they're so tight, like literally their head is pulled forward by all that strength. And then you get headaches, you get a depression, you don't even know it, so you have to start stretching, but slowly. Everything has to be slowly. And then you see, right, how you get to where you want to be. But first start building up strength. And then you start stretching, because what I've realized is, in order to do yoga in terms of these, right, what we think it's just stretching, yoga is actually more about strength than about stretching. Because in order to hold a position like the one I've been just doing, well, you'll see it in the next video, you need a lot of strength to hold that. And to maintain that position is quite a challenge. So also to do this, right, plank with straight arms, that's a major challenge. And to also watch, right, that your back isn't hanging through, that you're like well positioned. So always pay attention to what you're doing and don't overdo it, right? I always try to take also rest days. Don't do too much, because that often's like, right, there's an episode on my podcast, explosive beginnings often end with a crash, right? You've been doing nothing for weeks, and then suddenly you feel like going running again, and then you go running every day for 2 weeks, and then you've lost it again. So instead you could say, I really feel like running now, so I'm going running today, and tomorrow I'm gonna do something else. So instead of going running every day, right, you go running today because today you felt like it. And then you think, oh, that worked out today, that made me happy, I'm gonna do it tomorrow again. But instead, you could say, tomorrow I'm gonna do something else. And then I'm gonna do something else until, I really feel like going running again. And I can barely keep myself from running again. Until I'm so excited, like, I wanna run! And then you run. But until you get to that point, you do something else. You draw, you sing, I don't know, you make videos, you learn how to cook, you learn how to do crochet, right? You learn how to make your own hats. I mean, it's not in color, but like, I've made that. I've made it. Anyway, that's something a friend of mine made. He made it himself, man. He made that himself. Thank you. So, just do something.